I want to see personality. I've hired before in the past, and I know that more than qualifications, degree, pedigree, any of these things, I need to get along with that person. So when I look at a portfolio, what do they like? What would they be like to work next to? Would I jump off a building with their, their quirks, or would they make me laugh? Would they engage me? So I want to see that their personality is coming across right away. Are they willing to take a stand, have a voice? Are they willing to be a little bit controversial? You can paint the wall white. No one's going to pay attention to your brush strokes, but if you have the red paintbrush, they're going to know where you painted. The way to stand out is to be a little bit different, have a voice, and to use that voice. And that can be a little bit scary, right? I mean, to be different means that you're opening yourself up to possible ridicule and criticism. But if you never did, you would never be a leader. You would never really advance yourself. You would just be part of the herd, and you don't want to do that. You want to be different. When they get obsessed with profile optimization, or they don't recognize that actually social media is a publishing medium. And what this means is that if you are a publisher, you think about your audience. Who am I running for? How are they going to react to it? And what am I going to say to get that kind of a reaction? That's what a traditional publisher is going to think about. Well, people approach social media way too casually. So I'll just post this. Well, did you think about who the audience was for? Should I have posted that to public? Or maybe that should have just been for friends only. On Facebook, for example. With LinkedIn, people will often copy and paste their resume to LinkedIn. And it's really not an online resume. It's an avatar of the individual, the job seeker. So you want to really, before you start filling out profiles, think about who am I, what's that message I'm trying to get across, and then how do I communicate that effectively so that the employer, the potential employer, is going to recognize who I am. But obviously you don't put pictures of yourself drinking unless you're trying to get a job as a bartender. Or pictures of yourself, half clothed, unless you're trying to get a job as a stripper. You want to emulate the career that you're trying to go for. And that means, even with your friends and family, people think, oh, I'm just going to do Facebook and do whatever I want on Facebook because it's my right. Well, actually, it's not your right. It's more your privilege. Facebook is also a publishing medium, and I mean, did you know 18 million jobs in America came from referrals on Facebook? And without knowing that you're being referred into jobs. And so your friends and your family are your biggest asset. Treat them with respect, and think about them before you post. So personal branding is what you do before you post online. It's understanding who you are as an individual. And I mean as an individual. What are your unique values and passions? And then combining that with who your target audience is. A brand is only as powerful as it is relevant to your audience. So you might be really into environmentalism, but the folks over at the bank you're trying to get a job at don't care. Maybe you have another value you'd like to elaborate on that relates more to what your banking audience is going to feel is important or relevant to them. So personal branding is a combination of introspection, understanding who you are that makes you unique, and then doing research. So going on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, news sites to really understand what the problems and the goals and the issues are for your target audience. Once you can combine those two, decisions are very easy to make. What kind of pictures you put online, easy to make. What you say yes or no to in your career, easy to make. How you talk about yourself online, easy to figure out what to say because you've already done the pre-work of figuring out who you are and how that message is relevant to your audience. Yes, avoid the spray and pray approach to job search. So in other words, the old way of doing a job search, at least in the 90s and the early 2000s, was to make a really nice resume and then go on job boards and post as many times as you possibly can, and applying for as many jobs as you possibly can. Problem is that something like less than 3% of jobs ever make it to job boards. So, and also most jobs come from recruiters and networking. That means your networking is more important than your resume. And in order to be efficient at networking, that means having a good online presence, a platform of being online. So the best way, really, to uncover that hidden job market, some people call it, is to first look amazing online. That means first understanding your personal brand, then polishing off your online presence, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, your webpage, your portfolio, and then using that to reach out to and start conversations with actual hiring managers. And here's a little secret about business. These folks who are going to be making employment decisions about you actually want you to network with them. That's why they have profiles. As long as you look good and your message is on point with them, go ahead and reach out. Be professional, be assertive, but reach out to them and start those conversations. That's how you're going to make the biggest inroads in finding the job that you want.